Thank you, thank you. Well, okay, I'm literally about to go live. All right, you guys ready? All right, welcome to the DLA DAO. I'm not slept for 72 hours, so if I'm talking crazy, that would be why. But welcome to our first AMA after our first month being launched in the play to earn blockchain space. And it's been a pretty successful launch so far this month. And now we're ending out here with GITCOIN and the GR15 round funding. And we have developer Rooster on audio, and then we have developer, and this is our HR developer, handles all the moderation and throws bricks at people when they, get crazy. And that's just what we got to do. So if you, if you guys want to hop in here, anybody, you have any questions, you can leave them in the side. We're going to go over everything here for a little bit, and then towards the end of this, we'll get to some questions. But I'm going to give it over to Austin right now. Rooster, sorry.
Yeah, how's it going, everyone? And we do have some people in here viewing for the stream. You're streaming over through Discord, right? Okay, so we got a couple people in here.
Yeah, well, we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube, and we're in the Discord. If you guys are not in the DLA Discord, go and check that out.
Yeah, by all means, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put any questions in there, and we'll prioritize addressing those as soon as we're done talking about any matters. But in terms of, we did just come off a pretty busy day yesterday. We had a successful launch. My bad, my dogs. We did have a successful launch for our Thunderlands scholarship program. We are only about halfway launched into just the original people that signed up for that scholarship in particular. So still the early phases of it, but nonetheless, it was a pretty successful day yesterday with the launch of that program. Yeah, gotten a lot of really good feedback and a lot of good content just from people in general about that stuff. So that was a pretty exciting day, and then matching over that into today, just making sure that we're staying consistent with the EV scholarship and touching base with the Thunderland scholarship as they are coming out with new information every single day, it seems like. But yeah, open to any questions, and if you guys got anything you want to add before we really get underway with some of the stuff.
Yeah, if Stonks and Chumps, if you want to kind of talk about what you're looking for from the moderation team, as we did just actually a few moments ago, vote in a second mod. That's Gamer4, which he is I believe he's in the Twitch stream, but shout out to him getting that role, being voted in because we are a decentralized organization. DAO, if you're unfamiliar with it, it literally stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization. That means that nobody is in control of this. We all vote together. It's a community, and the main goal here is we're all players, so we're all pushing to make the future of Web3 better for players instead of the same mistakes of the past being repeated, right? Because there's plenty of esports money already starting to come into P2E, and that's going to bring in the big corporations and stuff, from EA Sports, all these other giants who have been, I'll say it, screwing over players for decades. Now we have a chance that we can actually have our ownership, but this does not come easy, which I think a lot of people in the crypto space think it's just going to come easy because it's a natural technological advancement. it's still not going to come easy. Like, this is especially when we're fighting against these centralized, globalized big powers, and projects being apart from each other, not being working together, not networking together, that makes us all weaker. We're stronger in numbers. That's one of the reasons why we built on Juno blockchain and the Cosmos ecosystem, because it's a whole ecosystem of multiple blockchains that all have a purpose, all have a reason. It's not like Ethereum where everything is built on top of Ethereum and it's all beholden to what the Ethereum chain does, or like BNB or even Solana, all these other one single chain ecosystems. But what happens if the one chain goes down? Everything's down. All the layer twos, all the dApps, all that, right? So Cosmos ecosystem, that's not the case. Well, actually, we've even seen it this year when Terra Luna got blasted and crashed. Terra Luna dropping did not affect the Cosmos ecosystem at all. People would just, well, I mean, it affected the people who were in Luna and maybe some Cosmos ecosystem stakers and holders, but as far as the actual ecosystem, it did not affect it at all. In fact, Osmosis, one of the best exchanges, and it's a decentralized exchange in the Cosmos ecosystem, handled the brunt of the Terra Luna sell-off. And that showed me right there that that is now the best tested this decentralized or centralized exchange that is out there to be able to handle all of that selling pressure from Luna. I mean, Luna dumped from, I don't even remember what it was, 200 to pennies to nothing, the fraction of a penny in a span of a couple of days. The rest of the Cosmos ecosystem didn't do that, right? So that's the good thing about being in the Cosmos ecosystem. And it's also very easy, very good usability of all these different applications and the blockchains themselves. Like, to stake Atom, the Kepler wallet is by far my favorite wallet. Everybody likes MetaMask, and Kepler, actually it's already becoming more IBC enabled, more able to connect to multiple blockchains outside of the Cosmos ecosystem with the Axelar and Agoric blockchains starting. But that's where we want to be at. We want to be in the ecosystem where we will not be taken out because we have this fight ahead of us.
Yeah, so if I could chime in. So
Sure.
one of the references that we like to go about is we're at the forefront of this generational change, in particular the video game space, and it's very eminent that that is the case because you see thousands of projects built on all kinds of different chains that are pushing for this success in this space. So one of
Yeah.
the routes that we're going about doing that is, so he's talking about the Cosmos ecosystem. We are very interested in the Cosmos ecosystem, but we are not limited to one individual ecosystem. So you
Right.
have all these great projects, thousands of them that are currently being built, and they're going to be launched whenever the individual project itself is ready to launch them. But us, we sit in a very unique situation because we're able to branch our project and take a piece here on projects that fit
hold on, Rooster. I believe your audio is not showing up for some reason. Give me just a second to fix this. I think it was before, but I was just making a quick little switch on something.
Yeah, I
Go
mean,
ahead now.
I'll
Yeah,
hold
there you
up.
go. You're
And
good. You're good. Go ahead.
yeah, so I mean, I don't know where I was cut off in that, but nonetheless, I mean, we are very focused on the Cosmos ecosystem, but branching out and diversifying into all kinds of different ecosystems because there's great projects that are being created all over. Regardless of what they're on, the fundamentals of their projects is what we're looking to build our own project with.
Right,
So,
and that is what Cosmos ecosystem gives us the ability to do, is to connect to all these different blockchains. Like the positions that we have a position in Alluvium, a staking position in the liquidity pool. Uh, that is on Ethereum, right? We've got the EVIO scholarship program that's on Solana. Thunderlands is on Polygon Matic. We have one Cosmon that we was able to get from, I believe it was airdrop. I can't remember, but Cosmon is a card game, a historical TCG NFT play to earn in the Cosmos ecosystem. Cosmos ecosystem doesn't have as much games yet. The kind of premier game is Strange Clans, but they're not really where they should be yet, and I honestly think that project is overpriced because it's like an astronomical amount of Atom for just one of those NFTs. But that's the thing, we have the ability to offer multiple scholarships across all these different chains right now, being a DAO in the Cosmos ecosystem.
yeah, and one of the top priorities with how we it does help that the program or the organization itself offers a way for a lending program, but when you add in the two scholarship programs that we have launched currently, you can actually play both of them at the same time and earn from both of them, maximizing your time even more efficiently than focusing on one. So yes, we have players that were playing EVIO. That was our first scholarship that we launched. Well, now we launched this Thunderland scholarship that is completely AFK. All you do is you monitor it every 16 hours or so. Yeah, there's a little upfront time that you have to put into it to unlock that access. But once you're at the promised land, you can be running and playing both games at the same time. So it's a foolproof system that we're going to continue branching out on, because the next step after this scholarship program is finding a third one that you can do, and you can do all three at the same time and branch. And year in and year out, we're going to continue increasing the amount of scholarships through all these great projects. So it's a really cool type of idea that we're building off of right now, and it's crazy to think that we're only 1 month in and we're talking about branching out into, I mean, just so many great projects out there, guys. Me and Ben Framework, we spend a lot of time looking into some of these NFT games, and it's quite extraordinary some of the stuff that you're seeing, and it's stuff that has not ever touched the video game space in general. Like
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
it's quite extraordinary to say the least.
Now, one of the things that we're having issue with, though, with the scholarship programs, and this is something we want to address with maybe OmniFlix. We've been talking to OmniFlix in the Cosmos ecosystem. They have a great NFT marketplace and creation setup, but we don't need the games to have the lending programs if we have our own platform where we can lend out for any game on any chain with the IBC capabilities of the Cosmos ecosystem. So that if we can get that going, then that gives us, for one, it gives the token DLA token back. It's like we're going to be one of the only tokens backed by multiple other NFTs and cryptocurrencies. Like most of cryptocurrencies are backed by their blockchain. What is their blockchain doing and all that. Well, DLA DAO is backed by the actual NFTs, but it's not the NFTs, because with the NFTs you could leave them in your wallet all day and they do nothing. It's backed by the players, right?
Yeah,
So
and going off of that, it also just naturally builds a wall of defense because your whole project isn't. So let's say you're in a project and you're solely tied to Ethereum. Well, your project itself is at risk if something were to happen to Ethereum. Now nobody can tell the future, but every project is going to have you're gonna have hiccups here. You're gonna have issues that pop up here. Is one of those issues that could potentially pop up going to jeopardize the project that you're pushing into, which makes ours unique is because I mean if we had a slip up on one of our projects or something to do with the currency backing that project, I mean we're able to shield it off a little bit. It's almost like getting a broken window instead of having to repair your roof or something like that. It's not as bad of a overall damage to our house, to the foundation of our
right,
building. So it's a pretty
exactly.
foolproof system that we're attempting to tap into, and there's so much untapped potential in this space for sure.
Yeah. Now, back to the where we're having these problems with some of these games, like we've been at the mercy of Thunderlands because they've been upgrading to Unreal Engine 5. But when you're making that big of an upgrade, there's going to be bugs and glitches in the system. There's projects like Gods Unchained where it's very hard to get any type of lending program going on. There is some new friends we talked to that are working on that now, and they have the same mission we do as far as that with Gods Unchained. Most of the developers play that game, but when the game has the lending program itself, there's two issues. Number one, the lenders and the players both are at the mercy of the game, which is no longer decentralization. And number two, those games are not focusing on the actual gameplay to make it, more fun for players. They're focusing on a lending program that, that's not something gaming developers really understand for the most part. They're not loan officers or anything like that. Now maybe some, I'm sure there's some instances out there where that's the case, but overall, that's not going to be probably a thought. I mean, it's you're going to have more attention on the lending programs if the games are hosting them than the games their actual self, because the scalability is pretty much unlimited. We're seeing that with our own scholarship programs. Like it's not going to be any problem at all to continue to scale up all of our scholarships and give access and opportunity to more players all across the world. And we've already done that with EVIO and Thunderlands. I mean, we have the EVIO clan who's in the top 10 for the third week straight, been in the top 10 since they become an official clan 3 weeks ago. We only launched 3.5 weeks ago, but we have
Yeah, so
players all
the
around the world.
diversity.
Yeah, all around the world. I mean, we have grinders and just shooters who are just tearing it up on EVIO.
I mean, that just
South
ties into our
America,
project itself too.
Japan. Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
Not only is our project as diverse as we're trying to branch off to different ecosystems, our player bases are going to be diverse because of just the market address that these projects have at their steps.
Yeah,
It's quite extraordinary.
yeah, and the games would benefit. The developers of these PTE games would benefit by leaving this to the free market.
Yeah.
And if they like again, they're going to spend extra time to make a lending program that is going to be buggy because you already have a huge game, like if it's built with Unreal Engine and it's on mobile both and PC and Apple and all of that. That lending program is also going to have to put on Apple and all those different places on the front end and the back end. So it's just more focus that is going to hurt the play to earn gaming industry if we continue to see them the game community, they are not the game communities, but the game creators themselves continuing down this route. It needs to be left to the free market. And that's something that most of these game developers need to understand. And I'm not trying to come from a condescending place. What I'm trying to come from is I'm a player of these games myself. I've played games forever. One of my favorite games was Toe Jam and Earl back on Sega. That's real old school. If you know what Toe Jam and Earl is, if you know, you know. But I'm talking from a player standpoint. If the lending platform in the game is being compromised, then you're going to go to another game. The players themselves can also be lenders as well. Like the players can be like what we are being. They can offer their own scholarship programs, but the games themselves are getting in the way of this. Like let it go, because here's the thing, all you game developers, Gods Unchained and all of you, once your NFT is on the secondary market, you should have no say in it because it's no longer in your possession, right? It's not in your wallet. It's
so
not your
glad you brought
NFT
that up.
anymore. So it doesn't matter what we do with it as players, and it shouldn't matter. If that's the case, you are not aiming for decentralization. You're just repeating the same mistakes in history of the past Web 2 gaming, right? So that is the problem. We don't want to turn around when we have this great opportunity for players of all walks of life, no matter their budget, to be able to actually play games that they love and earn money, earn an actual, somewhat of a living, or maybe a living if they're really, really, really good, or, if they're streaming. There's so many different ways for players to make money. So game developers understand that. Once your NFTs are on the secondary market and they're not in your wallet, they're not in your game anymore, they're not yours, and they can be taken off chain. That's with any game. There's no games that can keep their NFTs on chain. Again, if you're doing that, then you're repeating the same mistakes of the past. So we don't want that to happen if we want to keep the sanctity of P2E and decentralization in there through the longevity, right?
I'm really glad that you brought that up.
And yeah, go ahead.
And I hope that Gods does not think that I'm shitting on them when I bring this up. Because, no, today while I was on Twitter, I was trying to get up with somebody to just talk to them about our program again and just reach base. And the first thing I see on my Twitter feed from Gods is, hey, would you be okay with us banning cards like that have been multi-swapped back and forth between players?
What?
During the games, yes. And they were like, vote yes, no, or heart down in the comments. And then the players that were in the comments commenting about it were all for it. They were like, yeah, figure it out, like blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, so you guys are for decentralization, but you guys are threatening a crackdown where if I, the player, decide to sell my NFT to somebody so that they can complete a deck, finish whatever challenge they're trying to do or experiment they're trying to do, and then they sell it back to me or they send it back to me, whatever that transaction is, that's none of your business after I have purchased it directly from you or from Token Trove.
Right.
Like, you shouldn't be checking which wallet it's bouncing back and forth. I understand that Gods Unchained has a bot problem, but that's a bot problem. That's not we're going to crack down on the actual meaning of decentralization. And I love Gods. That's all my channel is about, by the way. So before y'all go blacklisting me, like, understand that I'm talking from the player perspective, and I'm also talking from the perspective of pro-decentralization. That's it. I'm just glad that you brought it up, because that was actually something I saw today, and I was rather upset about it. And then somebody else had posted a website that I had to get up with their devs about, because they were promoting it as if they were gods, and it's not them.
Well, who is it? Do you know what the names of the name site?
I sent you the link in your DMs on Discord.
Oh, okay.
It's the last link that I sent you. I think I sent it to Rudy too.
Yeah,
Hey,
okay.
Ben,
Interesting.
branching off of that, for some of the new people that are kind of just tuning in and don't really know much about the DAO, you want to go off and kind of explain how our DLA DAO works,
Yeah.
what transpires behind the scenes of, let's say you are a token holder of the DLA token, and what benefits you
Who's
have to that, and what routes are we looking to go for past that. So if you could share some of that information, I think that'd be pretty
right? So
good
we're
information.
we're built on Juno, and if you go to the front end site, this is just a promo site. But all you got to do is enter the DAO. Just click on that, and it'll take you to our actual DAO on DAO, or built with DAO on Juno's blockchain. Right? This is the actual blockchain here, where anybody who is a staking member is able to come and create proposals, vote on the proposals. So this was a very big one, this expansion proposal that we just passed recently, and you see everything that's going on. So it's completely transparent, but we work out these proposals in the Discord group because that's more the base of operations. And one reason why we try to work it all out before we do it on here is because it is on Juno blockchain. It is going to take some gas fees, but you don't want to have a whole bunch of, like the gas fees are nothing on Juno. It's nothing to vote, stake, create proposals, or anything in the DLA DAO. But if you do it a whole bunch of times, then of course that's going to add up. So one of the main things that I think a lot of projects miss is efficiency. And this is a very efficient process, the way we streamline voting. And there's no one person who decides, right? It's all about the DAO. Whoever votes is a staking member votes here, or by our floating meeting process in the Discord. So with this, that gives the token, the DLA token, governance utilities. We've already talked about the multi-currency backing and multi-asset backing behind DLA DAO and the DLA token. Now we have this as well. Like,
Yeah, and going into some of the voting
yeah,
aspects of it and just the fees in general. So one thing about the Cosmos ecosystem is the fees are very, very bare minimum in comparison to just my experience in the space since we've launched. Anytime we're in a scenario dealing with, this isn't a direct attack at Ethereum by any means, but if you're dealing with Ethereum, it just seems like there's reoccurring problems that come in to the equation so many times. So then going off of that, um, the amount of transaction fees that you're paying for the Ethereum is also something that it's just kind of in the back of your mind, like, wow, why is that gas fee so high? And then matching that to the Cosmos ecosystem where it's bare minimum gas fees. So we're able to, in a sense, vote on this. So this proposal right here, it was um, therefore voted,
yeah,
and then the gas fee that you pay is basically minimal. But
right.
that's what comes into the DLA token. It provides the voting power.
Yeah, yeah, and it's very easy to set all this up. That's what we want. Like, the more time it takes players to get set up to play a game, the more time that they're missing out on the enjoyment of the game and the maximization of their earnings. If you're going to be a full-time play to earn gamer, well, you definitely want to be maximizing earnings, and the easy use is something that will help maximize, because you're not wasting time trying to connect to a whole bunch of different things. Once you've got DLA token, which is not even public yet, the token's not public, it's still private, and we're in the middle of the start of the GITCOIN round funding, and with that, whatever funding we get is definitely going to accelerate our expansion even more so than it already is. But the whole process, this whole voting process, I mean, it's just very simple. You want to create a proposal, you put in the title, put in your description, and then if you want to do your own custom actions, you could put it in there. Execute a smart contract. So you think we need this new smart contract for the DAO, or maybe you think we should raise the staking percentage. Then you could put that out there. Or if we're migrating, like anything, we could mint new governance tokens. Now, there's no way to mint any more DLA token. The actual minter for DLA token has been destroyed. It's been burnt. Our coding dev, Indica Forest, took care of that, so we are capped at 200 million. But it is all very easy to use, and we do have tutorial videos here on the DAO YouTube channel to check out. And of course, you can always reach out to us in the Discord. We're in there every day. We're players too. Like, we built this DAO for the players. It's a player-built DAO for players, for gamers. And
Yeah, and just
we're
like
going to
going
protect.
off of some of the.
Yeah, I was
Go
supposed to say
ahead.
the last line. We're going to protect that sanctity of gamers first before anything else. And to make one last point on that, we did it in the first month and still was able to make a 30% gain. So all of our players, our scholars, they get higher lending rates. They probably made quite a bit. Well, I've seen, you can see from the scholarships, they're a real grinder or whatever. They're going to be making quite a bit. So that's an awesome thing to see.
Yeah, and just kind of going off of just the. Oh, I think your mic's kind of cutting out, Ben.
Mine is?
Oh, never mind. I was watching the stream and seeing your mouth was
Oh.
talking. But yeah, going off of the DLA token, a majority of the time the proposal is something that's looked over. It's not like it's something where it's like a brainstorming. Also in our Discord, we hold floating meetings, which is generally where the proposals are actually being formed in a sense. And then we take that information, and when we've come to the decision that, okay, we're going to get this up in writing and actually put it upon to be voted on, we attempt to get it as professional as possible and make sure everything is correct, and then we send it out for everyone to vote on, all of our stakers to vote on. And once that's passed by a majority rule, then we go into executing that proposal pretty much as soon as it gets passed. I mean, there's been multiple times where as soon as the proposal is passed, we're already right into actually making it into fruition, like, in a sense. But no, it's a pretty cool concept.
Yeah. We're not really trying to reinvent the wheel of anything. I mean, scholarships, lending, that type of thing has been around for a long time. And it's really no different than NFTs lending, except for the fact that we have a chance to set the standard and pave the way for zero cost lending to players. Whereas your traditional lending, you're going to be paying 10-15% interest. Or, if it's the scholarship program and you're charging your players a fee, you're charging your scholars a fee, well, you're not going to have scholars for very long, because they're going to figure out that it's going to be better for them to just go buy their own NFT, right? If they're paying a fee on top of having to lend it out, or if the lending splits are more in the DAO favor than the player favor, like, that's not, like, we've proven that you don't need to do that. Like, you can let the players make all types of money while the DAO is still sustainably going and gaining not just little gains, but I mean a 31% gain in the assets, treasury, and everything we have over this small period of time. That's a pretty big gain. It's not a whole lot of money, of course, looking at that, but that same type of strategy will be applied all the way up, because it is such an easily scalable thing if we can address those problems we were talking about with the games being kind of in the way of themselves and in the way of letting the market do what it do. I mean, it's
But
called
also
market
branching
for a
off
reason.
that, but also branching off that 31%. just being launched for only 1 month and being able to look at that data, it'd be very easy for us to kind of look back on the past as a major positive. But in a sense, we're actually looking at it as a benchmark. This gives us information to look over going into the next month. And then when we have our second month in, so leading up into this month, we were looking at day by day. Then we were looking at week over week. Then we're looking at, okay, now we have our first month in hand. What's our month over month numbers going to look? So in a sense, just having just raw data to go off of, and it gives us a target area to push for. And honestly, I think 31% looks lovely, but I think me speaking personally, of course, I'm sure other devs have their own opinion, but I think um, I would be surprised not to see that compound interest come into effect, where we're actually continuing to scale more than that 31%, especially with the launch of our Thunderlands scholarship
Yeah.
program. Because Thunderlands, I'll just be blunt about it. Thunderlands is a straight money maker. Every aspect of the game is going to make you money, and the launch of that program is definitely going to not only like benefit us, but it's actually going to benefit the players as well, because they're going to eventually be in a scenario where they can buy their own. They don't need to use our lending program, but the beauty about that is that we're going to be growing so fast that the community itself is going to be growing. So it's going to be one of those scenarios where it's like, okay, who's next in line? Okay, you're equipped with these NFTs that this person doesn't need anymore. And as we continue to build this entire community up, I mean, I'll come out and say it right now as well. We are holding back on a lot of promotion. We
Yeah.
have more than just everything that we have to offer with the scholarship programs. We have the Framework Fortune Media Network that we've been holding back off of, because we cannot fill the demand side right now
Yeah.
at the current state. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so much that we're holding back from you guys, that you guys got a grasp of a little glimpse of the overall picture,
Yeah.
but you're missing the big window in the front yard of what we're about to be able to easily, at the front door, in a
Yeah.
sense. We're going to be
Yeah.
able to walk straight out the front door with our heads held high, but running, like, leading this generational push.
Yeah.
But
A transition. It's literally a generational transition and to this an economic transition. Just it's all types of transitions. But yeah, that is a good point. Why we're trying to get as much funding as possible, because by the day, the demand for our programs are just going crazy. Like we're getting more scholarships, and that's going to happen because again, it's zero cost to players. If they can come to us and lend them out and borrow them, they don't have to pay, U.S. dollars or use their credit card or anything like that. They just can fill out a simple scholarship form here, like we have, and join the Discord. Well, then it's pretty easy for us to lend them out. All we need is just like their username. It's not invasive to their actual accounts. None of that. And then on top of that, we don't just offer the scholarship programs, we offer competitive clan rewards programs and scholarship programs outside of just the normal lending the NFTs. But like this instance here in the grant, actually, this is the scholarship sign up. The top 5 players in the EVIO clan every week are going to be able to earn a decent amount of DLA tokens, and then as well as the last 6 through 20 that's deployed and out there grinding. And then they're able to earn bonus modifiers of DLA token to if they rank in the top 3 or top 2 of the EVIO ranking. And the reason that we want to do this extra is not only to put the players first, but to help with the education and awareness of how the Web3 space is going to work, especially when you're a gamer and you're going to be in the gaming space, right? Like if you're going in and you've never created a crypto wallet before, that may be something daunting to you. Well, we have a community that you could come to and get help with. You know, this everything we're doing is to build a community, and we're being able to do this like we've been repeating over and over again, because it's really unbelievable. Zero cost to the players, and we're still able to generate revenues on our sides without having to charge the players. Like that should set the industry standard right there. That's never been done before in any
Yeah, I know
type of game or
every
anything.
company's goal is to sort of create a domino effect where you have one aspect of your business that are not business, aspect of your project, your organization that builds, and then the domino effect is actually when you take the positives from that part of your project, and it actually benefits when you start a new project. That's kind of what we're seeing, is everything being intertwined, everything being interconnected in some sort of way, is making each new project or part of our project that we're branching out to this much easier to actually excel into. And one of the big drivers of that is actually starting to build up a community, because when you have an audience of people to push great content onto, the overall launch of the entire scheme for the project is going to prosper.
It's not a
So
good word to use, scheme, but
yeah, probably I was
in the
going on a
crypto
rant,
space,
of course, but
yeah, that's okay.
I hope
I
they
think
got the overall gist of the message at
right,
least.
right,
But
right, right. Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. But so that leads on to the things that Austin Rooster's talking about that you haven't even seen yet. That we've not. I mean, it's only been a month. We have more plans in this. The main focus is not just to be the only DAO doing this. No, that's not what we want to do. We just happen to be one of the very few doing it at doing this, and doing it the way that we're doing it with the scalability that's going to allow us to create our own marketplace and NFT marketplace and scholarship lending DApp together, both all in one, that not only we lend out on, but players who are private lenders can lend out to other players. Other DAOs can come on there and lend, but of course, everybody is going to be subject to that zero cost to players. And the way we can do it, I mean, we've already shown that we can do it this way ourselves. So, with the IBC capabilities in the Cosmos ecosystem, it's not going to be that huge of a development to actually make this happen. Now, the part that is going to take maybe a little bit of time is the NFT transfer. While IBC is enabled in the Cosmos ecosystem, you can get wrapped Ethereum, wrapped Bitcoin, all that. Uh, but NFT transfer across chains is not quite there yet. So that's something that will be a hurdle when we get to the development stage of this platform. But that will give everybody the ability, and it'll be an open market, right? And then that's going to cause lower prices for players as far as keeping the market. Like, we don't want to drive games NFTs to zero or anything like that, but you don't need to have the highest price NFTs to be the best game out. In fact, it can be the opposite way around. Like, you can build a Gods Unchained deck, since we kind of went off on them a little bit earlier. You can build a Gods Unchained deck and not put a dollar into the game. Like, one of our developers, HH Trader, he plays Gods, and he didn't put a dollar into the game for a very, very long time, and just continued to, grind it out. And you don't need the Demogorgons or, the high diamond quality cards to be competitive. And when you have that kind of open marketplace, but again, that leaves, it's not IBC what Ethereum and IMX is. So it keeps them limited, where the inner blockchain compatibility of the Cosmos ecosystem allows us to be able to make a marketplace like this, where we can actually lend out, take all of the lending pressures off of the games themselves, so they can go back to focusing on making the actual games for players to enjoy instead of worrying about this that they shouldn't be. And then also keeping the whole market decentralized with that free market where anybody, any lender can join or any gamer can join, no matter what, and everybody's going to be able to make earnings. And then of course we can do other reward bonuses, things like that, to help that platform as well. There's so much stuff we can do that we're looking at sponsored tournaments for the games that we're into for our scholars, in clan private tournaments, just all types of things. And then all these games have all these new competitions, or not competition. I don't want to say well, yeah, kind of, some are competitions, but some are pretty big tournaments and stuff like that. And again, that's where it comes in. Like if you're going into a big tournament and you are not in the best financial situation, but you need this one card so you actually stand a chance to maybe fix your financial situation, you could go to this platform and either lend it out for the zero cost or maybe find it for a little bit cheaper price, because both the lending and the NFT selling and transaction buying and all that is on the same platform in the same place. Makes it a lot easier, and it is very doable with the Cosmos ecosystem, Cosmosm smart contracts. Even if we was to go more of Agoric, or I think, well, yeah, Agoric's JavaScript. So it doesn't really matter. We could build it on Juno, or like I said, potentially partner with OmniFlix or any possible way to make this start to go. And that's just going to require funding and a little bit of time to get that whole DApp, that whole marketplace lending platform out. Right? That's something that is on the timeline and will definitely be another way that the DAO has paved the way for decentralized gaming. So other than that, I mean, is there anything else that you want to talk about as far as what we got coming up? I mean, we got so much coming up every day.
Yeah, my bad. My mic was muted. I do have a area we could touch base on. I'll let you take the floor right away.
Okay.
Or I got to respond to somebody on Discord. But the content creation, you can touch base on some of that in terms of whether it's a Twitch streamer or more that we're looking into. Or I think we could cover some of that, unless you got a different idea.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that we have in the works right now is a content creator program where it will be a DLA token reward program, similar, well, not really similar to the clan reward program, but basically it'll be, anybody who's a content creator in this space more than likely is also going to be playing those games. So not only could they essentially borrow the NFTs to that's another great thing, another point to think about. Like if you're a streamer and a gamer and you're just starting out, but you want to have some really good game footage, so you've got people coming and viewing and sharing and all of that, well then but you can't afford the big crazy NFTs that maybe bring that type of entertainment to the content. The scholarship program would help them as well. And that is, we want people to be content creators, but they don't have to just be, you can be a DAO member and be a content creator doing your own thing. You can be a DAO member and go build your own project. Just a week ago, several of the members decided to start an NFT project. They've been making some different little graphics and things like that, and we definitely have some new add-ons coming on board to the team here very soon, where we will be pretty much sponsoring and backing some games ourselves, and maybe they not only sponsoring and backing, but have developers on the team that create PD games that could easily function with the NFT marketplace. So we're not only just trying to solve the problems on the scholarship and lending side, we're trying to solve all the problems, all the problems that I think everybody faces right now with IBC, play to earn, because there's no real blueprint to what works in these P2E games, right? I mean, you can copy Gods Unchained, but if you copy Gods Unchained directly, that's not necessarily, it means that everybody's going to come over and play that game. And
Gods has a unique moat that they built up, and
right, exactly, and that's the same thing with a lot of games they have that are already out. They have their own uniqueness, and anything that comes out after them, kind of in that realm, is going to be looked at least that's how it's been in the past, as maybe something that's it's biting or copying of that game. Like any other shooters after UVIO now at this point that are similar. I just saw one that's on Fractal. Uh, it's not much different, but there is some differences. But like everybody's already playing EVIO, them putting out the same exact game just with different graphics.
yeah, they're gonna need to find that it factor that's gonna be able to
Right.
push player base. But you did make a few good points in there. I forgot one of them initially. Um, uh, keep going, I'll think of it.
Okay. So
With that, you guys think we're going to see a battle of the cryptos like we had with Xbox and PlayStation,
Oh yeah, that's perfect. I
where they
remember
have
what I was gonna say.
exclusive games till
well,
one?
I think we definitely there's going to be it's already competition.
Well, there's no one perfect way. Like Ben was saying, there's
Yeah.
no one blueprint that everyone is trying to follow. No, everyone's more than likely got their unique feature that is their it factor,
Yeah.
and that's what makes the whole space unique, is because there's a reason why it's able to have so many different projects available, is because there's so many like the potential is just endless. I'll leave it at
The
that.
great thing is, a lot of
Love
these
your
gaming
optimism.
projects, like one that we're working with, uh, Greed. Shout out to Aries in the EVIO clan in the DLA Discord. He's a developer and has his own entire Discord for his game that he's putting out, a Grand Theft Auto style game. And he can be a DAO member, and that's still his project. That's the thing. Like it it helps everybody. All we're doing is just pulling resources to be able to win this decentralization war.
Yeah, and I mean, to be brief about the Ares Greed project, I mean, you could go into the announcement, scroll up to just some of the graphics that are being
Oh,
displayed
oh yeah,
for
yeah.
his
Let me pull
game and
that
show
up real
that on
quick.
stream.
Yeah,
I
let
mean,
me pull it up.
when I first looked at them, I thought they were actually real pictures, like it was a real chair, a real office, and everything. No, these
Yeah.
were actually pictures of the graphics in his game. I'm not even sure if it's in the announcement tab. It doesn't look like it is. Where was that posted at? I forget.
I feel like he sent them to
Oh, the
me
DLA.
directly, or he sent it to us in a group thing
It's
directly.
possible.
I could be wrong. Let me look and see real
I'll
quick.
keep looking for it.
But one of
General.
the issues they're facing is they're a new game, and this is not coming from some big corporation or anything. This is
It's in the
coming from
general
Aries.
discussion.
Aries is in our scholarship program and stuff. He's somebody else trying to create a really awesome PD game for people. So we can easily sponsor and get behind these games as a DAO, especially if the whole DAO is voting on it and gets behind it. And back to the content creators, we have Donfather, who is really. Oh, right, here's some of those pictures of Greed right there. Look at that. It does look like real apartments. But yeah, this is a Grand Theft Auto style game. You can see that they've been Let's see, what do you say? Delvema update on the 5th. So yeah, they've got you know, when you're a new project, when you're a new gaming project, and you're not coming from the corporation side, you're coming from an independent entrepreneur side. That is where not networking and not getting with, you know, a pooled source of power and resources like DLA DAO is going to give you a disadvantage. So Donfall is a great content creator, and we're really lucky to have him. And the way Rooster found him is an incredible story. But you know, we want content creators who are gamers to you know, be able to make a living. We want the gamers who are just casual gamers to be able to make some money. The competitive gamers. There's no one group of gamers or anything that we're trying to cater to. We're trying to cater to everybody, including content creators, moderators in these games, the game developers themselves, the games themselves. You know, we want to get behind all these projects. Come shill, come shill,
By no
shill. Give us
means
a
do you
double
have to
shill
be
soft
like a
taco.
scholar. Yeah, by no means you don't have to be a scholar
Right.
of one of our projects. I mean, we
No,
have
not at
people in
all.
here that have their own equipment, their own
Mm-hmm.
NFTs, and it's just the atmosphere itself brings a lot of positivity, and I think that's why it's such a sticky it's easy to get adapted to it is what I would say about it.
Yeah.
I've never been a big Discord user until this Discord was made. I feel I make announcements in the Discord on a regular basis, and I've never had this feel in terms of a Discord. But
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Like everything that I have on my Discord is muted, and I actually sent all of our mods a message letting them know, hey, this is how you get a hold of me. Direct message me. I can turn on the notifications for that. I will get that because all of this extra stuff going on in all of the chats, I can't keep up with all of it. And it's kind of crazy because normally I can just pop in, chat for 5-10 minutes on a Discord, and then I'm done with it. But it seems with this one, like business and personal use, and it's gotten crazy.
So did anybody bring any questions or any criticisms, feedback? You know, there's we're so new. There's so many things that we're already doing and trying to do. So I'm sure there's going to be plenty of questions. But if you got any questions, you know, just pop them over in the live stream chat, or if you're in the Discord group, in the live AMA in the Discord, you know, just pop your microphone off and you can just ask the question directly to us, or feedback or whatever.
yeah, we kind of put out a lot of information off of that. I'm sure there's
Yeah,
a lot of people's heads are spinning
yeah. Well,
as
I mean,
ours have
our
kind
heads are
of been
spinning, you
going.
know.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but it's all the problems that we have are all good problems to have.
Yeah, in
That's like
terms
the
of the
greatest thing.
Thunderlands as well, like they just kind of launched this new mint pass in a sense. Like what was it, the end of August, and then they got their they're just releasing content every single day. So it makes sense that they are having a couple hiccups here and there. I mean, as would any project when they're
Mm-hmm.
actually launching out full force, and they are going full force with pretty much their game. And the funny part about that is it's not even the game that's going to be released on Unreal Engine 5. That I mean, you want to talk about everything they've released, and it's not even what their game is going to be.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Like
a crazy thought.
like right now, I'm on the Thunderlands mini game miner, the clicker, showing some of that. But like, this is not the full game of Thunderlands. This is a mini game. It's going to be completely open world with lands, you know, land
Yeah, I'm gonna
NFTs
send
and
you a
all of
link to
that.
pull up on stream. It's basically just a roadmap of I think I remember how to get there. And then you can show the stream just kind of the roadmap and how early stage their entire project is on. Yeah, here we go. Give me just a second.
Oh yeah, it
He
was that
added
picture.
this
That
down.
was that.
Oh yeah, I sent you a picture of
Yeah,
Aries.
there. Look at that. Look at those game graphics.
I'm gonna send you another one right now. I always forget where I save all my. Yeah, there's the roadmap right there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Obviously you're not able to look through that.
Yeah, I can bring it over here. Let's see. That's the roadmap. Yeah, I can just pull that up on my side here. Where'd you pull it off of? Roadmap. Is that on the website or it's on the
Yeah,
website?
it's on the website, and then there's a roadmap tab.
I got you.
Gotta get.
I've looked at it, but I couldn't remember where it was. I only looked at it once. Oh, I got an error. That's weird. Wait. Okay, here. I'm just gonna bring the screen over, and you can just show. Is that a picture?
1 sec, I'm on a different tab right now.
Okay, so it says first release version of the game. The portal's open, and the Thunderlands waits for the daredevils who take the risk in search of adventure. Welcome to the game, fall of 2022. So they're going to be looking like they're going to be launching the full game. You know, well, it's fall 2022 now. Oh, actually, no, they just launched in
Technically not
August.
fall
So
until
we're
the 22nd.
what?
I said it's technically not fall until the 22nd.
Oh,
Keep your
okay.
pumpkin
Thank you.
spice to yourself.
Thank you. But yeah, there's a lot of games. I mean, that's the thing. A lot of games are developing really, really fast, as well as multiple blockchains, things like that. They're developing really, really fast, and the ones that don't are going to end up being left in the dust. And you know, again, if we're going to be fighting for decentralization and players first, that's going to include a lot of educating and helping with the players. What is that saying there? Okay.
Yeah, and on the development side of it, that's the one thing that, Daddy Elon has wrong. Like, decentralized work is great. Things like Zoom and Discord have made it so much easier for developers to just be like, yo, I'm having this problem. Hop on a chat really quick and deal with it. And time difference doesn't really it's not an issue. You don't have to wait for somebody to be in the office to get a hold of them.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that's streamlining the process even more. You know, you have a redundancy in that position that of like a middleman that just slows the process down, and that's like
Yeah,
one
and
of
then
the
you have
best things
financial
about
overhead
blockchain.
too.
Yeah, financial overlords and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's so many issues, and it's all glaring around the whole world right now. Like, there's not an economy that is in the best shape. Like, there's some that are in better shape than others, but yeah, I mean, what we're seeing, I think, is the the cycle of centralization coming to the decentralization start. Like we're to a point of globalization, and decentralization is right here on the doorsteps. But if we just ignore it and let the industry people come in and just take it all over, then it's not going to be any different. You know, just because it's on blockchain, if you know if they're creating
it's
the
gonna turn
game,
shit like Halo did.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like you know, it will. Like the worst case scenario is EA getting on blockchain. Can you imagine the type of crazy NFT deals they would be screwing people with? Like,
Are they not already on blockchain?
well, if they are, then that's probably why nobody was.
I'm not sure. I'm just saying, like, I'm almost positive that they might be at this point. Like, it's EA. They have to put their dick in everything.
Oh gosh, yeah. Oh, I don't know. I'm not familiar with any games that they're pushing on the blockchain. But even if I did see one, I wouldn't even look at it because it's EA. So that's kind of the
Yeah.
mind state where the education is going to come in at, to know that the games, the communities you're getting involved in, are not communities that are cash grab communities or cash grab games. That's always going to be a problem. Decentralization, blockchain is not going to fix that. No amount of centralization is going to fix that. There's always going to be that type of stuff going on. But the positives are, we have the ability to own our own assets, our own parts of the game, to do things like these scholarship programs. And I think the positives definitely outweigh the small negatives. And like I said, the big thing is trying to just make the whole process streamlined and easier with one platform for the marketplace and all these scholarships for everybody to be able to be a part of, across all chains, across
Yeah,
all
kind of like what
games.
Token Trove and IMX did,
Yeah.
but
So I
on
mean,
the lending side
that's
of it.
a yeah, that's a good like Immutable X Marketplace is a good example of a pretty good, pretty well set up marketplace, but they don't have any type of lending feature, and then you really can't do too much to try to lend them without maybe sacrificing your own beliefs or something to make it happen. And we don't want to sacrifice decentralization for convenience.
Exactly.
That's not a good trade-off. In the long run, that will be a bad trade-off.
Yeah.
So
And we also don't want to limit decentralization to one mass monopoly company.
right, exactly. We could make that platform ourselves and just keep it all to ourselves, but that's not what we want to do. We want to build the platform so other DAOs can do the same thing and compete against us. Like, come compete against us. We want to compete and keep the players first. Like, if you offer zero cost scholarships, and you're giving out your players 65% of the earnings, well, let's see if you can do 70%, because we'll raise it up to 70%. That type of competition is healthy uh, in a new market like this. That's how we get uh,
Best of the
innovation.
best.
Ben, to cut you off, I think Mod Faith said that he put a question in the live stream. I'm not sure which live stream that would
Oh,
be
it's in
in.
the AMA chat.
Okay, AMA chat.
The AMA chat. Oh yeah, if you
Where is that at?
let's see.
If you go up to the top and click the little chat bubble on the left hand side, or I'm sorry, the top right, when switched
Okay,
around.
I gotcha. Oh, okay, here
Oh,
we
I didn't
go.
even see that AA chat. Okay, sorry guys. All right,
Yeah, about
so
DLA
let's
token.
see.
Is there? I'll
Oh
let
yeah,
you
you guys have been
take it
talking
away.
for a while there. I didn't even. Oh yeah, sorry guys, we didn't see that on there. I'm watching the Twitch and the YouTube. Let's see. Very cool game. You tried installing Gods Unchained. Unfortunately, your laptop is very laggy. Yeah, it's a pretty big game. I mean, you have to download that client. That's like one of the things with like
Cool.
EVIO that's so special is you just go to ev.io and click play and you're just automatically in the game. That's what was one of the things that attracted us to it. That type of that type of usability where you can just go right on the Web3 browser and click play and be right in the game is incredible.
The question from Mod Faith. I'll let you take that away. Touch base on that a little bit, and then I'll chime in. The
Let's
the
see.
question about the DLA token, is there a chance in the future it will be released on different exchanges like QuickSwap, etc.?
Oh yeah, for sure. We're not going to keep it a private token. It's just the options we can do. The DAO's got to vote on it. You guys have got to vote on it. But there's multiple options we could do. We've talked about doing a NFT NFTs sell the NFTs would be redeemable for DLA tokens. So you could either keep the NFT that would have some type of benefits, or you could exchange it for DLA tokens. It would kind of be kind of like an initial NFT offering, but not really. Um, but the main thing is, the only thing that we need to do to get on other exchanges or get on all the public exchanges is pretty simple. We just got to start a liquidity pool. So that is something, with the right amount of funding, we could definitely do, because the thing is, with a liquidity pool, if you don't put enough of one of the tokens, so let's say for DLA tokens example, the first liquidity pool, the first swap we would be on would be Juno swap, because that is built on the Juno blockchain, so it's going to be very easy for us to get DLA token to that. But with the liquidity pool, it would be DLA and Juno, and you have to have a 50% or 50-50 balance. So when we initiate the liquidity pool, if we don't put enough liquidity in there of, say, Juno, like, because right now, starting the liquidity pool, DLA token, it doesn't have an actual price. You can try to put a value on it, but until it actually gets public in the free market, then nobody's actually going to know what the value is till that time. It's going to be how everybody reacts to it. Are they going to be staking it? Are they going to be trading it? Whatever. But if we have enough funding for a liquidity pool to where it's safe, because what happens, and this actually happened to me personally in a project. A project. I was just testing making tokens on the Binance chain, and I created a small liquidity pool, and somebody just came in immediately and bought up all of the Ethereum, or the BNB, I'm sorry, that was in that liquidity pool, and just left the tokens I had created in there to be worth nothing. So that's the thing, we don't want to initiate a liquidity pool too early without the right amount of resources to stabilize the liquidity pool. And one thing that'll help with stabilizing the liquidity pool, if we decide to go liquidity pool routes for token holders to go provide liquidity themselves, just like most other liquidity situations, liquidity pools. Cosmos ecosystem has tons, like Osmos has tons of different liquidity pools, but we can initiate it, and then members from the community, DLA token holders and all that, would essentially be able to also add liquidity, half Juno, half DLA token, and then earn part of the swap fees, because that's how liquidity pools work. If you are a liquidity pool provider, you're going to get whatever your percentage of the pool is from every transaction on that swap. But to get listed on Coinbase and any swap, all of that, it's actually a really simple process. You just got to meet a few stipulations, just a few little red tape that you got to go through. But the actual process of doing it is not hard at all. It's just the application, and if you meet those requirements, then Coinbase will list you. And as far as decentralized exchanges like JunoSwap, we don't really have to go and fill out an application or anything. All we have to do is just initiate the smart contract, the CosmWasm contract, to initiate the liquidity pool. We don't have to do anything extra. Right? It just is done by the coding. So that's how we get there.
Yeah, I'd say pretty much nailed down
we
the
have
spot.
to do the liquidity pool. There's no way around. If you're going to be on Coinbase, if you're going to be on, all
And
these
not
different.
rushing into something like that is not, or in terms of having a choice to get into that. He had said it pretty well. I felt that we have a lot more backing it, and we're on the right path to being at that. So when you say one day is it going to be that on an exchange, it's inevitable if we keep the rate that we're at right now, because then you add in a grant, and then you add in potential other opportunities that come because of the grant.
Right.
It's going to. That's why the acceleration. It's very hard to judge. Yes, it's nice to have benchmark numbers to go off of, but that's where it's still very hard to judge because we're a very new project still.
Yeah. 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 We we've seen a lot of success so far in this short amount of period of time, and the demand is definitely a good problem to have where we're lacking some of the supply. But you know, to support, I mean, all you got to do is just be out there right now during this GR15, sharing the grant link everywhere. The more eyes that gets on this, you don't even have to donate or anything like that. It's just trying to get more eyes on it, like any other social media type style platform. More eyes we get on here, the more funds we could potentially raise throughout this 2 weeks. And then they match. So Polygon organization is one of the fund matchers, or round funders, matchers, whatever you want to call it. So if we raise, say $20,000 through the grants, then we'll get a 150% bonus match from maybe Polygon or whoever that cause round is, because of our trust score, because we're building trust on GITCOIN by constantly posting on here. So that's another thing. Like I said, you don't have to donate anything to help. If you want to help support us, just come to the GITCOIN grant, share it and all that. But there's actually comments and everything where we're doing updates pretty much every day, what's happening in the project and the Discord, all of that. So being active in there helps. Just any way you can support. It doesn't have to be in a monetary way. That's not why we're pushing the fund grant. We're pushing it because we can get funding from, big players in the blockchain space, like Polygon I can't remember. There's a bunch of different ones, and there's some funding around. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the only thing that's holding us back. But we are generating revenue, so even if we were to not get funding over this next 2 weeks, it's going to be tougher to keep up with demand. But the more scholarships we set up, the more that we will be able to invest back into grabbing more supply to lend out to more players. It's not a bad problem that we have. The only problem we have at the moment is just a funding problem, which we're rectifying with.
There's a reason why we use assets too, is because it's not like this is a cash flow that we're generating. Like a business, like a normal business, they're going to generate cash flow, and they have to find ways to deploy that cash flow. For us, it's basically just a reinvest into what the assets that we have. They are constantly generating passive income, and being able to push that passive income right back into what we're already doing is what we're already getting a natural scale from. So like he mentioned, even if we weren't able to receive a ton of funding through the grant, I mean, eventually the assets are slowly accruing and paying for themselves in a way to allow us to be able to.
Definitely. I mean, 30% gain the first month, that's pretty impressive. And that actually did not include any of the Thunderlands scholarships yet. This only included the Thunderlands NFTs we'd acquired in this last month. So this next month, we're actually going to see both the EVIO scholarship program running and the Thunderlands program side by side, which will, it'll compound one way or the other. We're going to get to where we want to get to. We are going to pave this path for player first decentralization, whether it be from funding or whether it be from we generate the revenues all ourselves. Like, we appreciate all the funding we can get to get this project going even you know, get it in full gear and just really take over, paving the way for this. But if again, we're already to the point. It just may take a little bit longer to do, but we can still make it happen. So I'm fully confident that no matter what the situation is with funding, demand, game lending platforms having issues, all that, this is still something that needs to be undertaken, and not just by us, by a lot of, like, pretty much every game in DAO should be on the same page like
Yeah,
this
and
for the
a
putting the players
couple good
first.
points off of that as well. Sustainability is a good
Real
word to
quick,
go
I'm
off
gonna let you lead for a minute. I gotta take a call really quickly.
of. Yeah, so branching off what he had just mentioned, basically to sum it down is sustainability is especially in times like this. I mean, just comparing it to I know you guys maybe are people maybe from other countries, but um the amount of layoffs that have transpired in the economic times that we're in, those businesses are put in a decision where they have to judge their sustainability, whether they have a large moat or a very small moat. Having a project that is sustainable is a very key thing, and so regardless of which way that ends up going, we're confident that we're able to compete in these economic times and have that sustainability regardless of what happens, whether it means we have to branch off into different projects or whether but that's where the diversity also comes in, so just everything kind of tying off each other in a way that is able to keep our business afloat, or not business, I shouldn't say business, our organization afloat. But no, yeah, he does have the stream up, and in terms of the grant page itself, which is what we are looking at on the stream, for his Twitch, that is active content. There is new content that's being posted on that grant, and we are in the process of releasing a lot of like all in one. So all of the comments are kind of representing or leading up to small parts of our organization, but we are going to be in the process of launching uh, a full document that you can open up and you can read through basically the entire project itself. We're going to try and get as much information on there as we can that is good information, so that you guys aren't reading a bunch of very small details and trying to critique those and play those of how we're able to use that. But that is one of the things that we're going to branch off in that grant page. Yeah, that has been one of the main focuses this week, and having that being launched, that is taking up part of the time, and just everything adding up. So I would say that is a lot of work, but I think we're every day that we are going through this process, I think that we're getting better at facing these challenges. But no, yeah, I'm glad you guys did like the presentation. I see Gamer 4. Love listening to that. We appreciate that feedback. Well, we're gonna look to do more live streams like this as well, where we're able to take questions and hopefully get more questions. And a bigger audience would definitely help with that, of course. But just kind of like touching base with some of the community. I know both of you guys in particular, ModFace, have been here a few days, but I'm not as familiar with Gamer 4. So yeah, being able to get some feedback from new community members is also very good. Useful information to go off of. I don't know if Stock Muncher, nice.
Yeah, sorry. I'm back. I had to wrangle kittens.
Yeah,
They were trying to
Ben took a
escape.
call,
Oh, okay.
so just kind of on the floor, going off the top of the head. Yeah, I think it was a pretty productive live stream nonetheless. We got a lot of our good information out about what we're about, and
Yeah, definitely. And I blasted it everywhere.
really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't even looked
So
at Twitter at all today. I haven't even really been able to touch
I'm
base on the
getting
YouTube page
ready to
either.
drop the GITCOIN. I don't know if Twitch is gonna let me do it because I don't think I'm a mod on Twitch. I'm gonna try. we'll see. It let me. I don't know if it's gonna remove it or not, but that is our GITCOIN link. And if you're on Twitch, and if you are on YouTube, we'll be there in about 2 minutes.
Faith, I hope we touched base, or Ben was able to touch base on everything about the question. Yeah, it in the early stages right now, it's just kind of a matter of time, I would say. Uh, and how long that's going to take, that's a very tough thing to answer. We got to see what these next couple weeks hold in store for us, and yeah, we're going to keep working endlessly to push for as much as we can get, and just get this across as many eyes as possible. But we truly think that we're building something special here. And
Yeah, I was gonna say, as far as that goes, that we actually all had voted collectively, what was it, a week ago or so, that we were gonna wait before launching to do any type of funding like that, just because we wanted to see the numbers before we tried to get an idea of like a token value set up for it.
yeah, and that as well is very hard to go into. So yeah, that it was another reason why we kind of went off of total assets as well, because we had a benchmark that we pretty much started at in terms of the small or the donation that we received, and that was able to kind of kickstart. And of course, there were a few upfront costs originally, but
Yeah.
yeah, now that we've built that sustainability, I mean, we're kind of just on a cruise, just testing the
Yep.
waters and seeing where it's gonna go. But the next couple weeks is definitely gonna be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yep. We can continue to grow with this grant money or not, like, it will be good. It's just a matter of grant money. We can do things a lot faster.
Yes.
All right,
Uh,
I am back. We have any more questions or anything like that?
no, we got a
Let me
little
check
bit of
over.
feedback. That was good.
Let me check. Okay, I'm over there in Twitch and YouTube looking at that. Let's see what you guys got here. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, absolutely. And anytime you guys have questions, you can ask them anywhere in the Discord. We ask questions. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. People, I've seen mods get mad at people asking questions over and over again. It's like, these are people who are coming into a new game or a new whole ecosystem. They're used to U.S. dollars and credit cards, and crypto works a little bit different than all that. So, it doesn't help player adoption if you're running them off when they're trying to ask questions. So anytime you guys have questions, feel free to ask them as much as you need to until we can help you get whatever it is figured out.
Yeah, one thing I'll say about questions, if you're thinking the question, more than likely we're gonna have a new member eventually that's going to come into the chat that's gonna have the same question anyway. So I mean, anytime that we can help the community figure something out easier, or anything related with questions, I mean, I don't think any of the developers are gonna have an issue answering the question. I know, just speaking from us three in here, I know we're normally pretty decent at responding, or getting better at direct messages especially,
Yeah.
and any conversations that take place in the Discord.
Well, so another thing that I forgot to mention about the Discord, we're going through a lot of upgrades at the moment. And our team is pretty small. This is not the whole team here. We have Indica Forest, who's the lead dev on the coding and the back end side. We've got H&H Trader, who's our security guy. And you may not hear or see much from HH, but that's because he also is pretty much holding up the Framework Fortune media network with live streaming, stock market, and stuff like that. And as well as that, he has his own outside IT security things and network things, and everywhere around the world has been having network problems. So he's just extra busy. But eventually, you guys will hear from him, and it'll probably scare you because it'll come out of nowhere. You'll just not expect him to be there, and there he will
For
be
real.
in the shadows waiting. So, and then of course we have Papa Wolf, anonymous developer. You know, we if you want to be anonymous as a donor or anonymous as a partner, anything like that, that's fine. We don't, you know, that's your business. If you want to be listed for credits, or if you want to, you know, stay hidden in the backgrounds like that, you know, that's you know, that's your choice. We're not here to make choices for people. We're just here to develop something for everybody to build together.
Yeah, I would say that's a pretty good note to go off on.
Yeah,
I know my
yeah,
dog's going crazy. I got a
yeah,
lot of good information out there, and
for
yeah, I'm
sure.
glad we, especially I know you missed that little rant, but getting 2 new community members, I know Face fairly new and same as with Gamer 4, and just allowing them to at least hear out, and then being able to push this content out into, I know Stock Madrid said that she was posting it pretty much on every platform. So
Yeah. She will get it out there for sure. And again, that's how you guys can help us. You know, we're not asking you guys in the community and stuff to donate to this grant. We just, you know, would like the help of promoting it. You know, just getting it out there, sharing it, and everything like that. So we are, you know, popping up in the top grants and stuff like that, and getting attention, because but again, it's not necessary. Like, we don't need to, like, if we get no funding, it's not like the DLA DAO is just going to be over with. That's not the case. We'll be absolutely fine. So
Yeah, if anything, share, join our Discord.
yeah, you know, share.
Think about participating, but just come and chill, see what we're about, share some memes. There's a tab for that. Like,
Yeah.
just some interaction in the community.
Yep.
Like, if anything, if this just grows our community and gives us a larger player base, then hey, so be it.
Yeah, and we'll continue to, like I said, build out more things for players, more tournaments. Well, not we haven't done any yet, but this is something we've been talking about for the EVIO clan. A lot of the EVIO clan members are interested in that. So there's a lot of different things we
Found a
can do with all these
management
different
bot
games.
for that, by the way.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Okay, after this we'll have to get working on that, because that's one of the things we're working on, like, immediately for the EVI scholarships. Not the scholarship, but the clan deployment is to have a bot that handles that, because the clan is, like we said earlier, over 30 people, and that's going to continue. You know, we've only been a clan for 3 weeks.
hey Ben,
And
I gotta get the dogs out
yeah, do your
and
thing, man.
run them. They are going nuts. The dog knows he's getting ready to go.
Oh yeah,
So
do.
I'm gonna take off, and I'll reach out to you when I get back. And I heard you mention we gotta do something after this call.
Yeah, there's also, again, if you are a EVIO clan member, you still need to fill out the new form, and that way you can get your DLA token
Oh
rewards
yes.
for the weekly rank and stuff. Because if you don't fill out that form, then we don't have your Juno address to be able to send the DLA tokens to. So I think, you know, a decent amount of people missed out on that last week, because they might not have realized
Juno
that,
wallet.
but we have directions in the Discord for doing all this, and we'll be putting out more video content of tutorials of how to work the scholarship programs, how to play some of these games. Like, I think earlier, there's a big discussion about Thunderlands that you were a part of, Rooster. That was you were talking about what you're using to maximize your earnings personally.
Oh yeah, I got a little a sneak peek or early access for that. Is I'm gonna be developing which routes that you are going to want to take when you're going through the mine. That's gonna save a lot of time, and because sometimes it feels like you're in the mine forever and you're going like 30 waves. I'm onto it. I just don't have enough conviction on it yet. So yeah, just little things like that going into Thunderlands. That is there'll be information out that I'll be posting here. Hopefully by the end of this week when I get it all figured out.
Right. And as I said, I am literally in the middle
I gotta
of
take
moving.
off though.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was a
Man.
good talk.
We'll
I will
touch
be
later.
back later.
One last thing. have you? Well, you can go ahead and go, Rooster. I'm talking to Stock Monster here. Is there anything in general that you want to talk about with the new moderators? You know, if they spin a moderator for a week, and you know what's your goals for moderation and keeping the Discord rolling nice and smooth.
I mean, from what I saw inside the Discord, like their applications, quotey fingers, so to speak, they both have community management experience.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much the same as running any other Discord or community. You see somebody saying some crazy off the wall stuff, obviously time them out. I mean, you can make the executive decision. If it's bad enough that you think they need to be banned, then, take care of it.
Yeah.
But,
but one thing is, we also don't just want to be banning people to ban people.
Yeah,
if people
exactly.
have,
That's why I said it has to be some pretty off the wall
Yeah.
stuff. Like they're
Yeah,
coming in
for
with.
sure.
Are we still live on like Twitch and stuff right now?
Yeah, we're still live everywhere.
Okay. All right. So I don't want to say examples of, because we will get banned on Twitch and YouTube for those examples. But you guys know we're adults.
Yeah.
You know how to conduct yourselves in every, like, a Discord. No harassment, no crazy spamming of, crypto schemes and other stuff like that.
Now
Typical.
again, to clarify on that point, we're fine with you becoming a DAO member and promoting your own project and stuff within the DAO. That's absolutely fine. The DAO doesn't have...
But if that's the only community interaction you're getting is coming in and posting your links and then leaving.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely spamming. Like, we want active community members,
Yeah.
that
Come in, give us ideas on different games that you want us to do scholarships on.
Or yeah,
Like,
or
all of
anything,
that's
or if you
fine.
have
There's
a game
tabs for that.
yourself,
Yeah.
that's one thing in the future. Like I was mentioning earlier, we are bringing on some people to the team that are game creators. Because why not? If we're doing all this for these other games, then why could we not have DAO backed games as well that fit the scholarship program? Especially, if we're part of the development process on the back end coding, then we can help with getting that game more IBC and get more promotion and stuff like that. Or maybe if you're not familiar yet, you're maybe getting into the crypto space and you want to start your new game or something to do with gaming. You can always come and try to help the DLA DAO while also getting help back. The pooled resources. That's the thing. We're power in numbers. But yeah, I think I don't have a big issue with people who are shilling a legitimate project, right? Like, because all shilling is really just promoting. And if we're trying to be inter blockchain connected, like, I'm not saying, like, wouldn't want anybody to shill 100 links back to back that would make our moderators have to do all kinds of extra work for no reason. But I'm saying, like, if you have a good project and you want to push it and you want to be a part of the DAO for that support, or maybe you don't even want to do the project by yourself. You're a game designer and you're just your own game designer, but you have no team or anything, and you really got this great idea and you need help. Come to us. Come present it into the DLA Discord, and we'll see what the Cali community reacts, and if everybody votes on it, we can get behind it and help in that regard too. But that's the thing, like, you can be a DAO member and still do your own thing. We're not trying to take over the entire play to earn ecosystem. We relish competition. We want competition. without competition, then you have, then it's just a monopoly, and that's not. That again defeats the whole purpose of decentralization. So.
Exact.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. So other than that, I mean, is there anything else you want to touch on? Let me check and see if there's any questions over on the other side. Nope, nope. You guys over there in Twitch and YouTube, any questions you got for us before we take off here? There's gonna be, we'll be pretty active this next 2 weeks with the GITCOIN grant funding. I mean, that's pretty much, our main focus besides the launches of the scholarship program for Thunderlands and the Discord upgrades. So even with all of this going on and us being a small team, we're still tackling multiple things at once. So there's nothing stopping us. We will do this, all of us together. We can pave the way. We have the opportunity in front of us. We have a legitimate, successful first month of data that shows it is possible to not charge players and still be profitable yourself as a DAO. So, the proof is in the pudding. And this is it. We've already done it. And now it's just scaling up. So, and if you're a DAO getting started out and you're interested in the same thing, doing the same thing again, reach out to us. It's fine. We relish the competition, or if you want to partner with us, whatever. There's no one person who makes the decisions. If you have something that you want to put out there in the DLA Discord, you put it out there, and the community is going to be the ones to decide. Like I don't decide, even though I'm the lead developer on this. I don't make any decisions. People, if you come to me and ask me if I can do something, I'm going to tell you no, because I can't. I'm not going, like, I'm a big proponent of decentralization, and I'm not going to. It makes no sense to reflect non-decentralized actions off of the DAO when we're trying to be decentralized. That's hypocritical and defeats the whole purpose of it. Like, we don't want to be defeating ourselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't. I mean, there's just so much. I mean, we can go on forever on these AMAs and stuff. Like, we have so many plans in the works, so many different things, so many partnerships that we're talking to, but we just don't accept, any partnerships with other places. Like, I'm not going to go out and make a partnership on behalf of the DAO by myself. I'll go out and try to get a partnership deal on the table, but the ultimate decision, again, even on that something that serious, I think should still be decided by the members and players of the game, not the person who's doing it. But I get broken record about that all day.
And even if we hated that partnership, like, let's say
like, personally,
as two founders, we absolutely hated it, and we were like, no, it's going to destroy the DAO. We don't want anything to do with that. And everybody else thought it was great. If they all voted that they thought it was great and they wanted that to pass, then so be it. It doesn't matter. If they have the weight of the votes to pass it, they have the weight of the votes to pass it. It doesn't matter what our personal opinions are. We have to do it.
Yeah, at the same time, though, I do want to address that we are very aware of the issues when it comes to whales and having extra voting power. So that is something we've been discussing in the floating meetings since, over the last couple of weeks, how we can
balance everything.
Yeah, how to balance everything, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, we're moving right along. Everything's moving as smoothly as it can be. Like I said, some things are out of our hands when the games have lending platforms, but we hope to solve that problem with the whole all-in-one marketplace IBC connected platform. But yeah, I think that's if you have any questions, if you're looking at the grant, maybe you're a funder and you catch this video on the DLA DAO grant. I'm sure we're going to be in probably at least one cause round, maybe a couple of different cause rounds. We kind of have to wait and see. But yeah, if you're a funder, if you have questions, just drop them down here in the comments below the DLA DAO grants, and we'll get back to you. One of the devs will get back to you as fast as we can, or maybe one of the community members might get back to you. We have some community members on here already, supporting, trying to help us get this funding so we can really make a big effect on the beginning of this journey for everybody, not just the DLA DAO, but everybody. We're on the same journey together, trying to make this new world of gaming. But appreciate everybody joining us. We'll definitely be doing more AMAs. We'll be doing more live streams on the DAO where we just play some games. We'll be getting EVIO clan streams going where we show some grinding and stuff like that, and Thunderlands type of streaming. Although Thunderlands, until the full game comes out, I don't know how much streaming you really do with that, but yeah, that's so much. There's so much on the table, so much that we have in the works, and again, you can always add to all that just by simply being a DAO member. So get out there, let's change the world, let's make history.
Let's have fun while doing it.
And have fun while doing it, exactly. Have fun playing the games we love while changing the world for the better. But alright guys, till next time, stay safe out there, stay smart. And again, if you need anything from any of us, just reach out to us. If you can't get a hold of us right away, there is the mod. We got the mods, and we do have one dev might see something and get it to the other dev that needs to, because we kind of divided. That's something I haven't really talked about in this. I'll just go over this real quick. We've kind of divided the dev team into multiple parts for efficiency. So we have the asset management team, which currently is Rooster and I, and we should be having Zeptify joining us part-time soon if everything he had going on pans out. But yeah, the Stonks, she's over the moderation, the social media, HR and promotion and things like that, and then Forrest is over the dev team and coding, so that we don't have to have one big team. We can have multiple small teams that all communicate. So if you're interested in being a part of those teams, because we're definitely going to need more coders once we get the funding to build this platform. If you have that coding experience, or or if you're a content creator, anything, we have a join the team spot in the Discord where you can come in and present why you should join, why you want to join the team, and what you can do, and then we'll throw a vote up, and if the community votes on it and they say yay, then hey, congratulations.